Yo, what is up, gentle ladies, gentlemen, and gentle YouTube viewers in general, I guess. Welcome back to the last video of the season. Obviously, season 19 has been a blast. I've been really enjoying playing in the VBL-S for my fourth season in a row. Yeah, it's been a hell of a ride. So I kind of wanted to make like a recap video, going over the season a bit from start to finish, giving my thoughts, sharing some highlights, some lowlights, and just overall giving my quick thoughts about the entire season. So yeah, let's get straight into it. I want to start because I only started recording halfway through the season. I think I started recording in the middle of week 3 or week 2 maybe, one of the two. So yeah, I never actually made like a draft overview or anything. So I kind of wanted to go over the team a little bit, see how we ended up here, and give my thoughts on the Mons as they performed through the season. So yeah, we had 100 points budget this season to spend on 11 Mons. I believe it's 11, right? Yeah, 11. So yeah, we had to spend 100 points and make a good team. So yeah, obviously MA format, so we didn't have access to the MB mons yet, so no Staraptor, no Metagross, no new items. All the season prep needed to be done in MA format. So yeah, that was pretty exciting. Also excited to... MA is like a really... how do you say it? It's like a really... not really small format, but it's like really restrictive in terms of items and Pokemon. So yeah, we had this draft board, of course, which is a lot smaller than usual. So yeah, it was kind of cool, bit of a challenge to make a solid team with the points you had available, right? So yeah, I knew going into the season I wanted to build a team around Mega Chandelure. Obviously, Mega Chandelure, or not Mega, just regular Chandelure is my favorite Pokemon and my team mascot, as you can see here. We are called the Castelia Chandelures for a reason. So I knew going into the season I wanted to build a team around Chandelure. And I knew it wasn't going to be popular. I think no one else actually drafted Chandelure. I'm not entirely sure on that. I'm pretty sure no one here drafted Chandelure either. No, they didn't. So they disrespected my boy. And we took it to playoffs, which was pretty cool. But yeah, going into it, I knew I wanted Mega Chandelure. This was probably like the best season for it. So yeah, that was going to be my anchor point basically. And I wanted to build a team around it to support it. So we were actually a little bit at the back of the snake draft this season. As you can see here, we were actually I had third pick or second, no, fourth pick I believe. So yeah, I wanted to either be first or at the back. So yeah, I just chose at the back. Because the first two were taken by Jordan and Camo, and Purple Rain already picked last. So yeah, going into the back of the snake draft, obviously you have a small advantage because you can pick in pairs basically, so you can get some cool synergies going. So yeah, basically the first one that I ended up with was Farigiraf, knowing I wanted Chandelure. Chandelure obviously has some weaknesses, like its speed tier is not great, it's weak to priority with Sucker Punch mainly, so yeah, that wasn't amazing. So I knew I wanted Farigiraf. I also just love playing Farigiraf, this mon is so cool to me. It's super versatile in draft as well. I mean, we will go over some of the sets I built later on in the season. But yeah, it's such a versatile mon, it can set up Trick Room. And I wanted Trick Room on the team as well, so this was basically like the best first pick I could have asked for. Obviously, sharing a dark weakness isn't great, but it was something we could build around. So yeah, I ended up going Farigiraf first, and since we were late in the snake draft, I could immediately basically pick Torkoal after it, which would both give us Sun and help with the Trick Room mode. So yeah, I think this little package of 3 mons was amazing. It's basically what I eyed up for and what I got. So yeah, that was pretty nice. Obviously, Sun enables Mega Chandelure to do some insane damage. I mean, this mon has a 175 base special attack, so a Heat Wave in the Sun is going to hurt very much. So yeah, this was like a small package I built. Then I wanted like a Tailwind mode, but I noticed like a lot of teams, or not mod teams, a lot of mons in the format actually don't even get Tailwind. I think if you go, let me see if I can pull this up for you guys. Sorry, I did not prepare this at all. It's a bit of a improv by me. If you actually look up Tailwind in MA. Yeah, oh, this is MB, I believe. Yeah, it is. Wait. Okay, so it is MA, but they still show the MB mons. Okay, fair enough. Like, there aren't that many good mons. I believe by this point, Hydreigon was my initial pick, but it was already taken by Purple Rain, I believe. I didn't want Pelipper, because Pelipper was rain mode, basically. Volcarona was already taken as well. Straptor wasn't in the game, and then Arrow was taken, and then from then a lot of the mons just didn't... I didn't feel like they really added much to my team. And then I looked at Dragonite, base Dragonite first. I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool. We can do some stuff with that. And then I started thinking, you know what, I can do Mega Dragonite. It's actually the same price, or even 1 point cheaper, I believe. Am I blind? No, it's 1 point more expensive. But the thing I had with Dragonite is one Mega Dragonite is a lot faster. So it actually helps getting up Tailwind a bit easier. And knowing I wanted to flex both Megas, potentially, I could like still bring base Dragonite, even if it's holding the Mega Stone. I still think that was pretty good value, being versatile. Also, it gets stuff like Heat Wave, so it could even like function in the sun as well. And basically, I mean, 700 base, that total is still just amazing anyway. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna add you onto the team. I wanted the second Mega. It deals with the... I mean, Chandelure covers its weaknesses pretty decently. Mostly the ice weakness, of course. And then Chandelure covers the fairy weakness as well, which was pretty cool. So yeah, I was like, you know what? Tailwind mode. Actually, we didn't even use it for Tailwind that often in the end, because we built some pretty cool sets around it. But yeah, I'm still happy he was on the team. It actually ended up being like one of the MVPs on the team, I think. Honestly, we have brought like so many cool sets. It did so much work. I'm so happy I got it, even though people were doubting it, which makes sense. You don't want to run Hurricane in the sun, so yeah, I'm still happy we drafted it. Then obviously we drafted Chandelure. I wasn't sure if someone was gonna pick it, but I really wanted to play Chandelure, and I was like, you know what? There's nothing I want to get right now, anyway. So before I get sniped, because at this point it was more obvious what I wanted to go for, right? So I was like, you know what? Before I get sniped, I'm gonna pick it up. So it's 4th pick for me. So yeah, that was pretty. I just wanted to make sure I got it. Then I wanted a water type. Because we don't hit that much variety with our types at the moment. I wanted like a water fire grass core for sure. And then I looked at Tauros for 11 points, which I think is an absolute steal. Oh no, it's even 10. It's even better. I think I used Tauros in a different tournament. I think it was one of the Wolfie tournaments where I used Tauros, and that thing put in absolute work. Obviously, Intimidate was super valuable. Not a lot of mons get Intimidate. I believe if you look here, Intimidate, obviously Incineroar, but that was already taken. Scrafty wasn't in the game yet, so yeah, you're basically stuck with Arcanine, which was pretty good, but I already had 2 fire types, so I didn't want that. Crocodile was an option, which I considered. Weird Deer, we already have Freak, so that wasn't gonna work out. And then, yeah, basically Gyarados was already taken and Crook was already taken. So I was like, you know what? Let me grab Tauros right now. Tauros is amazing. You can do some cool stuff with it. Water fighting is a really good step to have. And that fixes our dark type problem as well, because we have a fighting type now, which was pretty cool. So yeah, obviously this was also, I think I brought Farigrev and Tauros were the only Pokemon I brought every single week. They put in absolute work. I would say this is like the unsung hero in terms of points to actual value output on the team. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I keep saying that. I need to stop saying that. My bad. Okay. Obviously, I wanted the grass type as well. And considering we already had sun, I wanted like a chlorophyll user ideally. We had some decisions on, or choices I should say, on what to draft. We could draft like Venusaur, which was still open. We could draft Scovillain, which would give us redirection, but it was also another fire type. So I considered it, didn't end up going for it. And I think Venusaur was a bit expensive. At this point, like the top 5 mons together are like all above 10 points. So I wanted something a bit cheaper. And then I saw Victory Bell. And the Victory Bell in terms of stats isn't even that much worse than Venusaur in most cases. Yeah, it is a bit slower. We can look here. Venusaur and then Victory Bell. Like, it's actually not that bad. Like, it's more offensive on the physical side. It's a bit slower and it's a bit more frail, but obviously most of the time we want to be running Focus Sash on Venu anyway. So I was like, you know what, this guy has some stuff going for him. He also gets Sleep Powder, right? So basically move set wise, it's the same as Venu. So yeah, for 5 points, it seems like relatively good value. So yeah, this seemed like a really good pick at the time. We didn't end up bringing him a lot, to be honest, but I still think it was a really good pick for the team. And it just made sure people had to respect it, right? Because Chlorophyll gives us some extra speed control as well. And Sleep Powder can just be really disruptive. So yeah. Then we have Weavile. I wanted at this point 2 things. Actually 3 things. I wanted a Fake Out Mon, which weren't, I mean there aren't that many. And I wanted a Dark type, for sure. So yeah, I ended up grabbing a Weavile. Oh. If we look here, Fake Out, there wasn't that much, even on the board. I think there was some stuff like the Simmies were still mostly on, Toxicroak, but we already had a fighting type. Morpeko was an option, but it didn't really look that appealing to me. And then I saw Weavile. It was 11 points. I mean, it's really fast. It hits hella hard because it does like 120 base special or base attack. And I think ice type stab in general is like really hard to get, especially physical ones. So yeah, Weavile just kind of fit everything I needed at that moment. So I just snatched it up. It's a bit of anti-synergy with the sun, I guess, but like Weavile is not taking a hit anyway, so the extra sun boost doesn't matter. One thing I had to consider as well is like these mons and also Heliolisk, which we will get to after this. They are all kind of fighting for the Focus Sash, which was a bit awkward in draft prep sometimes, but I was like, you know what, I want this one. It gives me a lot of the stuff that I want, and actually Weavile also did like a lot of stuff during the draft, so yeah. I'm pretty happy I drafted it. Good mon. Then we had Heliolisk as a Sun Abuser. As well, I wanted more Sun Abuse on the team. We had, of course, Torkoal and the Mega Shandy. We had Victory Bell. And then I saw Heliolisk with Solar Power. And Solar Power actually gives like an insane boost to its special attack. I believe it's like 1.5 Heliolisk. And it already has like 109 base special attack. So yeah, it's 105, so that basically puts it at like 150, a bit more. I mean, I know the stats like get calculated a bit differently, but basically it just makes it a really fast, really strong special attacker. Of course, it's really frail. But yeah, it also has like dry skin, which was pretty cool to me. In case we ever faced rain, this would be like a good matchup fix. Oh yeah, that's what I also wanted to mention. Dragonite was mainly my rain answer as well. I was like, you know what, if they ever bring rain, Mega Dragonite just kind of destroys that matchup. So that was another selling point for Mega Dragonite for me. But yeah, let's go back to Heliolisk. We didn't end up using Heliolisk that much. I think in the early weeks he got brought a bunch. He absolutely carried versus Keith, my first week opponent, because the damage was just kind of insane and it had a good matchup. Near the end we didn't bring him as much, which was a shame to be honest, but it's whatever. Then we have Rampados. I wanted another slow mon to abuse Trick Room. I'll just keep it short, like we never brought this guy. I almost brought him to the last week against, let's see, we faced the Jordan. I don't know if I still have it open. Yeah. you can still see he's green here. I had him like in the builder, and then last minute I swapped to Torkoal to have a better matchup against the snow. So yeah, the 1 week I was gonna bring him, where I thought the matchup was good enough, I still didn't bring him, which was a shame. But you know, what can you do? It's the Rampados theorem, I guess. So yeah, it's a shame I didn't get to bring him, but it is what it is. Then we have Toucannon. Toucannon was like, I needed a one pointer, and Toucannon actually offered some really cool stuff for a one pointer. Like, it's slow, so it works in Trick Room. It has like decent attack, like 120 is not bad at all, and it got some really cool coverage with Skill Link, like Bullet Seed, Rocks Blast, Tailwind as well, in case I ever needed it, and I couldn't bring Dragonite. So I think for 1 point it was pretty cool. I brought it 1 week, it didn't really do much, but I mean, it's a 1 pointer, what do you expect, right? And then lastly, I think originally we had, let me think, because I don't think we brought it, and this isn't at least the midway we brought in Steelix for White Guard, which was pretty cool. I never ended up bringing him because the matchups just weren't great, but I wanted the option. And we needed like at least some White Guard, because Rock Slide kind of destroyed my team at this point. We had like 1, 2, 3, 4 Pokemon weak to it, which wasn't great. So yeah, we ended up picking Steelix up for like 2 points, I believe. Oh, we had Sandaconda. That was what it was. We had Sandaconda, which we never ended up bringing either. So this was basically just a dead spot. But yeah, Sandaconda kinda never did anything. We had an option for like a sand mode, but obviously it was never gonna happen. So yeah, and I also wanted the ground type, which is why we also swapped to Steelix later on. Like, this guy was obviously a ground type, but I think Steelix was just the better mon. So yeah, basically that was what we drafted. I think most of them were great. I would say these these 8 mons were basically like the core of the team, and we have these bums in the corner, which basically never get brought. But that's just the way draft goes sometimes. It was nice to have the option still. So yeah, I'll go over my favorite set of every mon that I brought. I think for Farigiraf, it was definitely my set against... I don't have the names. This was my week 2 set, which was against... Think up the standings. I believe it was against Purple Rain. Yeah, I think it was this set. This set was really cool. We have Dazzling Gleam with the Calm Minds Trick Room, Baton Pass to pass off the Calm Minds into Dragonite, or Chandelure, but it actually ended up working with the Dragonite, which was really cool, and I had some Rain Dance shenanigans as well, so this set put in a ton of work. So yeah, I thought that was my coolest set. The coolest set I also tried to cook up with, which never really worked, was this set in my last playoffs match, where we had Hyper Voice, Shadow Ball, Nasty Plot, Trick Room. It was cool. It didn't really work, but that's just how it is sometimes, you know. And also small honorable mention to my first week set, where I had Low Kick and Rain Dance against Keith. Low Kick for King Gambit, which was a cool tech. I think I clicked it once. It wasn't that impressive, but it was still cool in my book. So yeah, then Torkoal. I don't think I had a favorite Torkoal set. I mean, we basically always ran just Fire Move and then some coverage. I think if I had to pick one, it was probably this set with Basho and then the Heat Wave, Solar Beam, Earth Power, Yawn. Yawn was actually really cool. I also had this set versus Jay, where I ran Fissure, which was pretty funny. We never clicked it. I don't think I brought Torkoal. That it just stayed on the bench, basically. And then yeah, I don't think I had any cool Torkoal sets. It's a bit of a one-dimensional Pokemon anyway. Then for Dragonite, we had so many cool Dragonite sets. I'll just pick my favorites. I think this set, where is it? Not this week. I think this set was kind of cool with the No Protect Tailwind and then going Heatwave, Ice Beam, Dragon Pulse for coverage. What else? I think this set was also kind of cool. Draco Meteor, Heatwave, E-Speed. I didn't bring E-Speed much, but it's still like good coverage to get priority, you know. I think a lot of the things that made Dragonite cool in terms of the draft were the fact that I had weather available. So I brought Weather Ball like a bunch, which was like really cool, unexpected coverage, and like a lot of matchups. I think that's what made Dragonite cool. We didn't really bring normal Dragonite any week, which I kind of wanted to do, but we never got the angle for it. Most of the time, like Dragonite itself wasn't that great, so we just bought Mega Dragonite with the intention of megaing it, which was a shame, but it's what it is. I think Chandelure also didn't really have that many like cool sets. Like we had Heatwave Energy Ball, Heatwave Overheat. It was always Heatwave Shadow Ball +1 basically. Some weeks we didn't even bring it. I guess Psychic was kind of cool as coverage. Overall, I like that I built Chandelure mostly as like a tank. Like this week obviously it was pretty fast, but like most weeks I put like a bunch of bulk into it and a lot of not a lot of speed or special attack to make it as tanky as possible, which actually ended up working really well. I mean that mon is pretty tanky if you build it correctly. So yeah, that was pretty cool. Tauros, also not that much cool stuff. I mean we had Wild Charge as well on a lot of them. I think this set was kind of cool with the Wave Crash Close Combat for Black Belt. We actually lost this week, but this Tauros put in work. Also this one with Roselli Berry to live Moonblast from Whimsicott, which came up and won us the set, so that was pretty cool. Also Scarf Rain Dance. It was basically like Urshifu Light for those who remember the Choice Scarf Rain Dance sets, which was pretty cool. Yeah, I think after that with Whirlpool to trap the Perish Mons on Jay's team, which he didn't end up clicking, but was pretty funny. So yeah, it's a shame about that. Victory Bell, we didn't really bring Victory Bell. I mean, we brought him to some like matchups and team preview, but we never ended up bringing him. I think my favorite set from Victory Bell though was the one where we actually brought him, which was this one with Black Glasses with the Sucker Punch. I'll be honest, this thing did pitiful damage. That match, and he didn't win us the game. We won the set though, but Victory Bell stayed on the bench for the 2 wins. So yeah, like I said, Victory Bell was cool, but didn't really end up doing much because I didn't think we needed it. Then Weavile, I think my favorite Weavile set was pretty obvious. We had against Jolteon, we ran Choice Scarf Weavile, so no fake out. We just wanted to be really fast to outspeed Aerodactyl, because Aerodactyl was faster, to prevent Tailwind from going up. So we had Choice Scarf, Triple Axle against a potential Focus Sash Aerodactyl. Yeah, that was honestly my favorite set of the bunch. I don't think anyone of the other ones come close. Then Heliolisk, I think this set was kind of cool. The Choice Scarf with Sunny Day, in case we didn't want to go fast mode. We also had Chattil to safely pivot in the Chandelure, for example. And then we have Breaking Swipe on this set, also Choice Scarfed. And Rain Dance as well. I think those are the only weeks I brought. No, I bought it here as well with Eerie Impulse, which was also pretty cool. Yeah, I don't think I brought it that much, to be honest. I think for the first weeks I brought it a bunch because it looked strong, but I think the matchups near the end didn't really favor it as much. Then we have Rampardos, we didn't bring it. I have no favorite set. To Cannon we brought 1 week. I believe it was this week. Yeah. So we had White Herb to prevent Intimidate, and then we had Rock Blast, Beak Blast, Bullet Seed Knockoff. I think this was mostly to go counter like Insin, and it gave us good coverage. It didn't really do much, to be honest, but it was still pretty cool. It was like the 1 week we brought him. And then Steelix we didn't bring either. So yeah, that basically, basically that were my thoughts on the team. I think this was my favorite team I've built so far. Obviously, this is my 4th season. So we did, of course, build some other teams, and I did use Torkoal with like Fluttermane in season 1. But I think in general the team was kind of cool in a sense that I built it with a specific idea in mind, and then it functioned completely differently, but it still worked. I think the coolest thing about the team was like some of the rain dance stuff we did with Mega Dragonite, having multiple weather options to abuse certain mons. We didn't even go Trick Room Torkoal Eruption Spam like that much. I think we did it like twice or 3 times during the whole season. And I think obviously, like Farigiraf, Dragonite, Chandelure, Tauros and Weavile were definitely the MVPs of this team. I think Dragonite might have been my absolute MVP. This guy put in work every time he came out of a Pokeball from the bench. So yeah, I think overall maybe it might just be because we had a really successful season, but I'm really happy with how the team worked. I think this is my favorite team to date, which I'm pretty happy with. I will also say, I think in terms of season, like obviously we had a really good season, going 6-1. I think we won a lot of games based on matchup. I think we had a lot of really, really good matchups. And even the bad ones were like really playable. So I think that might have made me a bit biased. But overall, I was really happy with how I played. This is obviously my best finish, even though we lost in the first game of playoffs again, which was my best finishing position, I believe, in season 2. Or my second season, not season 2. But my second season, I also made playoffs in like the 4th spot. We also lost the first game against the guy who eventually turned out to be champion, I guess. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I think this time I challenged Jordan, obviously, because he was the strongest guy left. And we kind of got smoked by him. He really revealed some of the weaknesses of the team. I will say, like this team, obviously, it's my favorite team I've built. It definitely didn't. It wasn't perfect, right? I think what Jordan basically demonstrated for all to see was I had no dragon resists other than Steelix, which I didn't bring. Obviously, we don't have fairy type either, because fairy types are really hard to get. Like I looked through the draft board. I think the only fairy types that were left at a certain point were like Hatterene, which came available later in the season because I originally wanted to draft this and then someone else took it. And then it got transferred, and then by that time I didn't really find it interesting anymore. We had Gardevoir, which was cool, but we already had a significant Ghost and Dark weakness, so I didn't really want to bring that onto the team. And Florges was another option which I considered. It was just a bit too expensive not really too expensive, but I couldn't fit it on the team without making like a major sacrifice elsewhere. And at a certain point, I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna run this team. It worked for me really well through the playoffs, and obviously Jordan saw that weakness and took really big advantage of it. Also, a lot of my opponents didn't have any rock type Pokemon. This team obviously has a huge rock weakness with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mons out of the 11 being weak to rock. I mean, you can see it here. Obviously, we have some resists in Tauros and Steelix, but Steelix wasn't on the team until later in the season. So only having Tauros was a bit rough. It kind of just fucked over our team synergy. Also, we didn't have any ground resists. I mean, we did have 2 flying types, which helped for sure. But yeah, once Dragonite goes down, it's kudos. It's over for us. So yeah, I think the team definitely had issues, which Jordan exploited very well. But overall, I'm still happy with how the team worked. So yeah, I think basically that wraps up our season mostly. I want to say I think my opponents all did really well. It was a really fun season, facing a lot of really creative teams, which was pretty cool. And I can't wait until next season, which hopefully will be a different format, because I didn't really enjoy this format the most of all the formats we've done, due to like limited item availability. I know a lot of people really hated the format this season. Not saying that like the format itself is bad and that like the people who picked the format don't know what they're doing. I think the format made sense for sure. Like going full MA Because this draft league started at the start of when Champions released, basically. So yeah, it made a lot of sense. I think it was still fun to build a team with like limited options, but obviously like the fun thing about draft most of the time is creating like really cool sets. And if you look at the items that we had available, like it's not that much. It was basically like you had either a boosting item, a resist berry, leftovers, or a choice scarf. Or a citrus, I guess. That was basically what you had to work with, right? So it made team building a bit not how do you call it? Monotonous, maybe? It made it a bit predictable, which I guess people didn't like. I didn't mind it as much. But yeah, it is what it is, you know. Hopefully next time we get a really bonkers format again, so we can cook. Yeah, other than that, I think that wraps up my season. Thank you all for staying with me on the journey and watching this little recap. I will, of course, be trying to get back for season 20 if they allow me back in, which they have done for the last 4 years, which is 4 seasons. I think the guys of the VBL-S are like some of the greatest people I've met in the Pokemon community. So yeah, obviously I'm excited to keep going. Yeah, I think that's it. So I'm going to head out. I'm going to grab dinner because I'm hungry. And I will see you guys in potentially season 20. So see you guys. Bye bye.